Hi class, my name is Carlo D. Fernandez, and tonight I'll be talking about Chapter 10 that is found in our Consumer Behavior textbook. So companies around the world want to maintain high profits, increased margins, and continue to grow the company. A lot of corporations invest in research and development, also known as R&D, into brands to see what consumers think about their brands to beat the competition. Chapter 10 focuses into the motivation, the personality, and the emotions into the consumer when they buy a product. So here's a definition on motivation. The chapter first talks about motivation. This definition is found in Merriam-Webster Dictionary. So from a marketing standpoint, it is the need of the consumer in the act of the purchase, whether it's for a personal or social perspective benefit. There's a common phenomenon as stated with this behavior. It's called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So here's a short video on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Let's take a look. So here again is the pyramid of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. As you can see, psychological, safety, and love needs are the most beneficial and that are the most common and that are most needed for the human to be able to survive, while as esteem needs and fulfillment needs are not as important. So after reading all of this and for me talking about you, you're asking yourself, how does this apply to marketing? Well, I wish there was an easy fact to that, but here is a common fact. Consumers do not buy products, they buy motive satisfaction or problem solutions. So what does that mean? Let me explain. It means that all consumers buy things, gizmos, objects, or products to satisfy their own needs to solve their problems. For example, if the consumer is hungry, then the consumer will go and purchase food to resolve their hunger solution. So in this example, the consumer has a problem, and that solution would be to go get food. Hunger is the problem, and solution is food. So what about a satisfaction need? Let's check that out. So the best example I could think of is the sneaker culture. As discussed in Chapter 7 of brand communities, one of the examples was used in the textbook is on the sneaker culture and the term sneakerheads. Where brand communities have a lot of individuals with the same interest or the same needs or that like the same brands. So for example, here in the sneaker culture, sneakerheads like sneakers. So their motive strategy to this culture would be having the coolest kicks or to be impressed by others. Or the second would be making money off the original investment of buying the shoe and selling it to someone else who did not have the chance to be able to get the shoes when they originally released. So here's an example of satisfaction needs from esteem and peers. So in a world now where we are always involved on the phone or online, we have certain sites such as Facebook or Instagram where you can upload your own photos, where a lot of sneakerheads like myself used to post up photos of their shoes and be able to get likes or to be able to get comments about how cool the shoes were or how awesome they were. And you not only make an appearance for yourself, but you're also making friends along the way. So let's talk about the financial standpoint. So in 2014, Nike decided to collab with Diamond Supply Company, which is a clothing brand for skater shoes. They decided to collab and make the Diamond Tiffany SB High Dunks. These shoes were priced at $108, and they were released on February 8th, 2014. 3 years later, there is an aftermarket site called Flight Club where they supply all aftermarket shoes at an aftermarket price. The price of these shoes that were released in 2014 were $300. So if you wanted to calculate what your net margins are, you divide your net income, which would be $300, divided by the original investment, which you paid for the shoes in 2014 would be $108. Once you get that answer, you can multiply that by 100 since it'll be a decimal. That answer would be 277% increase. So let's take a look at a more dramatic example. So Kanye West joined the Nike team in 2009, and he designed his own shoes called the Nike Air Yeezy 2. This colorway is called the Red October. This price was at $245 because there was a limited quantity that came out. This was also released in 2014. So on the aftermarket website, Flight.com, they're selling these shoes at $7,500. So let's calculate the margins. 7,500 divided by 245. That is an increased margin of 3,061% increase from your original investment. So basic motives of strategy are, there's 3 of them in marketing. Approach, avoidance, and avoidance. So the first one, approach conflict, is a person has to choose between 2 positive conflicts with the situation at hand. So meet Jacob. He just saved a ton of money by switching his car insurance to Geico. Just kidding. He actually received his shares of investment from Nike from the last quarter, totaling of $10,000. He has a choice since this money is supplemental from his $100,000 a year job. He can either invest in putting a down payment on the car of his dreams, taking a dream vacation to Cabo, or buying himself a pair of Nike Air Yeezys. He can narrow down his decision based on his needs, if he really needs a car, if he really needs a vacation, or if he really needs a pair of shoes. So the next conflict is approach, avoid. The consumer is faced with the positive and negative consequence of the decisions made. Meet Gertrude. She is an environmentalist, eco-friendly consumer and only buys green. She needs a new car but doesn't want to add to the carbon footprint caused by cars that causes global warming. She has done research and found the perfect car of her dreams, which is a Toyota Prius. It is new and doesn't harm the environment as much as a normal car. So, based on her research, she did find a positive, which was an approach, that she did find a new car, which doesn't add to the negative, which causes global warming. The last one is avoidance conflict, when a consumer is faced with 2 negative outcomes situations, also known as choosing the lesser of 2 evils. Meet Howard. He recently got fired from his job, and he has a ton of money, and he has a ton of bills piling up. He doesn't get that much from unemployment, but his bills are piling up. He received a car from graduation from college from his late grandfather. He does not want to sell the car because it has sentimental value, but at the same time, his bills are piling up and his unemployment income isn't as much to make ends meet. He has a couple of options here. He can decide to either take loans and to play catch-up on those bills and try to get ahead while he searches for a job. He can ask for help for family or friends, or do the ultimate thing and sell the car. Next, we're going to talk about personality, which is also discussed in the textbook. Personality is the quality state of being a person, personal existence, or the condition or fact relating to a particular person. Marketing definition is an individual's characteristics, response to tendencies across similar situations. So again, how is personality used in marketing? Brand personality. What is brand personality? There's 5 different elements: sincerity, excitement, competence, sophistication, and ruggedness. So in brand personality, endorsements are used from celebrities, as I have 2 examples here. So before President Donald Trump became our president, he was a businessman, and he had several different companies between making Trump University and very different companies. He had his own company called Trump Steaks, where he would go and personally endorse them themselves, saying how wonderful they are and how juicy and tender they are. And since he was known as famous at the time, everyone would go buy his steaks. Another example here would be used by Kanye West. When he left Nike to join Adidas in late 2015, he endorses Adidas, not only his brand of shoes, but the brand in general, which profits skyrocketed when he started selling the shoes and making Adidas a bigger competitor next to the top-selling shoe brand, Nike. So user imagery is to portray activities when a consumer is using the product and defines the traits of users and markets. Here are 2 examples. Marlboro targets the southern or the cowboy look of Marlboro, where they're saying that no matter where you are, you can always be a cowboy too when you're using Marlboro. The second example here is used by Chevy, where they took a picture here, I'm assuming in an American rural area, where it shows that they are America's best truck and that it is the most dependable because it is made by Americans themselves. And as you can read at the bottom, it's more standard payload than their competitors of Ford or Dodge. Last but not least, emotion. Here is a definition of emotion. So there's 3 types of emotions and marketing strategies. There's emotion arousal, emotion reduction, consumer coping, and emotion in advertising. So here's emotional arousal as product. As discussed earlier from Chevy, the Chevrolet company wanted to enhance more into gratitude, where they were hearing from a lot of consumers about how grateful their brand is for being an import and how they love buying import vehicles. Gratitude is defined as emotional appreciation from benefits received. So as you see here, a lot of these pictures here are showing the American Revolution, where it's bright and it's happy, and where it's showing that the consumer is smiling because they're buying a car, but not only a car, but a car that is made in America if the consumer is American. As you also see, a lot of those commercials that were made in the middle 2000s, they had a country song that would be like, "This is our country." So the next one is called emotion reduction as a product. You have seen those sad commercials, right? Those sad commercials where the whole environment is happy and friendly and everything is going right, but you see the main character and they're just sad or depressed, or they're just not really feeling the environment around them, like they just feel out of place. Well, those commercials are made by drug companies, as you see here, by Zoloft or Zofrexia, where they are targeting the people who have such problems as anxiety or depression, and they are selling these types of pills to be able to have not only help their benefits, but also to help the company's benefits as well, and to make money. Consumer coping in products, services, and countenance. Coping involves consumers' thoughts and behaviors in reaction to a stress-inducing situations designed to reduce stress and achieve more desired positive emotions. And our last one, motions in advertising. Motions in ads enhance their attention, attraction, and maintenance capabilities. I have 2 examples here. Michelin used the image to sell the way that their tires are the best, and they claim that if you have a family, you want to invest into Michelin because they are the safest. As you see here, Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires. Not only riding on your tires as well, but they also put a baby in there as well. And on the right here, you see a Coca-Cola ad where it says, "Open the can of happy," where they're claiming that anytime a consumer is enjoying Coca-Cola, they are happy, which is true. Coca-Cola is seen everywhere, and everywhere that someone's seeing, they're always enjoying Coke. In fact, I'm enjoying one myself right now. Here is my works cited. Thank you very much for watching.